Some scams are very long-winded. They can take a while to get to the phase where they actually initiate the scam part of the scheme. They can even seem like legitimate forms of income. They will actually pay you money into your bank account, PayPal, or via cryptocurrency. This is all to gain your trust. You perform simple tasks that take a few minutes to complete, and you get a reward. This is a lot like the famous Skinner box or the operant conditioning chamber experiment. Animals such as rats and pigeons will be placed inside of a box. Inside of the box is a button, and the animals would press the button and receive a tasty treat. The catch is, however, that sometimes when they press the button, no reward is given to them. Eventually the rewards cease completely, but the animal will keep on pressing the button, never losing hope that they will eventually be rewarded. This scam, by FIRE Investments, an acronym for Financial Independence Retire Early, is very much like this. It begins with a link on Instagram that redirects to a WhatsApp chat as usual, and the person in the chat will then tell you the following: that their company is helping authors to get more reputation on Instagram or Facebook and social media. You like their posts, you share their posts that they publish, you follow them, and that is what will make them more famous. So they need a lot of workers to do the task. You can get money after you make one like or one share. So this sounds nice and easy, yeah? You just go to social media posts that they tell you to go to, follow the author, like, comment, share, subscribe, whatever, and they pay you some money. And this is what they did. Sure enough, they did actually pay me £15 just for liking an Instagram post, straight into my PayPal account. It took some persuading for them to pay me via PayPal, as they wanted me to use my real bank account details, as they claimed that they were getting scammed. Once I was paid, I was instructed to pay them £7 to get access to the VIP group, where I would be earning lots of money. They claim between £40 to £500 a day. I paid them and provided proof of that payment and entered the VIP chat. A friend had been in this chat for over a week at this point, and we couldn't decide how exactly this was going to turn into a scam. At the time that I joined the VIP chat, this person had earned over £100 from them. Then things started to look a bit suspicious. They stopped messages in the VIP group and were agitated by people who kept on asking money for payments. This is probably some kind of vetting procedure. Those who comply, don't ask for the money, will be allowed to advance further into the scheme. Those who complain will not receive money and will not be seen as susceptible enough for the later stage of the scheme. For a few days nobody was receiving payments, and they kept asking for accountants. These accountants were told that they would earn a salary of 5% of total transfers that they make per day, and they would send this using Huobi, which is a cryptocurrency exchange. At one point they were asking for hundreds of accountants. Note how this job has switched from a liking social media post job to handling a payroll job. This is the craziest part up to this point, as they said that accountants would have all of the money paid into their account and then they were responsible for the payment. People who wanted to get paid would obviously jump at the chance at this. So again, this is another form of vetting who is more susceptible and who isn't. So they said that they would transfer the reward to the customer who finished the task and that you use your own bank account for the transaction, but the company will transfer a balance to your account. So this is a kind of diversion tactics that a lot of these investment scams tend to use. When it initiates the fraud of the scam, the bank that the customers inevitably go to try and regain their funds, or any kind of paper trail, the bank will only see the transactions between the victims' accounts going to other victims, allowing more time for the scammers to run and hide while the banks and their own internal procedures stall the investigation. Victims' accounts can be frozen and shut down. Eventually, the job changed again to what is likely to be the final phase of the scheme, where the scam actually initiates. Instead of liking and following social media posts, you are asked to install an app. This app is a cryptocurrency exchange type app. An insider told me what the accountant job actually was. He said that it's not even an accountant job. Basically, all you do is find the most recent trades. The trades are all done from an app called Fire, which was available as an APK file for Android, and there was another version of the app for iOS. You were encouraged to install this app for a fee of £8. The app, once installed, that I put into BlueStacks, asks for permissions to make and manage phone calls. It also wants access to all of your files and photos. Most apps do require some storage permissions for cache, but this was way over the top. Giving these kinds of permissions will allow them to blackmail you if they find sensitive content on your device. They may find passwords and all sorts of sensitive information. It's possible that they could use this to extort victims at a later date. Not long after this, many users in the chat were getting suspicious. Many were booted, or they left of their own accord as the instructions were too hard to follow. Essentially, the tasks were similar to that of other investment scams that we have investigated on this channel. You're given a commission for placing trades on behalf of other clients, and sure enough, they do continue to pay you. It wasn't until recently, in the past few days, that we could definitely tell that a scam is about to take place. They gave users an ultimatum: invest £1,000 or be booted from the group. It is unlikely that we will have any more inside information from this point, however. So this went from a social media liking job to an accountant job, and finally into a trading app where you are pressured into investing a large sum of money. Many of the users did not get paid due to the vetting process. The next step is likely to be a massive rug pull where they will simply vanish or come up with impossible excuses and demands where they just want you to continue investing more money. But one of the most insane incentives that they used to keep people in the scam that I think I've ever seen in any scam that we've been looking at was from one of the admins in the WhatsApp chat. They said that if you stay with the company for 1 year, they will give you a motorcycle. And if you work for 2 years, they will give you a Mercedes. But if you work for 3, they'll pay for your child's tuition until they get their university diploma. I want to play some audio for you now for someone who was an ex-scammer at a POGO operation. For those of you who don't know what a POGO is, it's a Philippine offshore gaming operator. Some of them are legitimate and registered, although still not really to be trusted, as many legitimate POGOs have been found to be involved in fraudulent activity just as much as the illegitimate ones. The SEC in the Philippines and POGO don't exactly do a good job of regulating what they say that they're supposed to be regulating. But he did give some inside information that correlates a lot with the way that this scam works, namely that there are tasks involved and small contributions are actually put aside in the scheme to pay the clients to gain their trust up to a certain point until it is impossible for them to withdraw their money anymore.
At first, know that it was a scam, we have an application and we have the link that we will send it to the clients. They will just do a task. They just need to finish a task. But before they finish the task, they will need to deposit first. They will need to invest first. With our platform, we have levels in our platform. Like, for the first level, they only need to finish one task. For the second level, they need to finish 2 tasks. For the third level, they need to finish 3 to 5 tasks. But those 3 to 5 tasks are really big amount of money. And for the first 2 levels, they can withdraw money.
Yeah,
because it's
okay.
only small amount. Yes, they need to experience withdrawing their money so they can proceed to the higher levels. And when they proceed to the level 3, because when it comes to level 3, they cannot withdraw their money anymore. We will just keep on telling them to keep on doing tasks.
Right.
Like that. And yeah, we answer those calls. And sometimes we make up some scenarios like when they reach the higher levels, when they can't withdraw their money anymore, we tell them that our boss didn't approve their withdrawal. We just make up some random things.
Yeah. Okay.
Just to convince them, and we always tell them to finish this task, then you can withdraw your money.
Okay.
And when they finish this task, then we will not tell them to do any task anymore. The next thing that we will do is we will give them a refundable tax, handling fee, bank handling fee. But those are really high amounts.
Yeah.
Also high amounts.